Today I was having a discussion with one of my old friends, and it was mostly on relationships, relationship patterns. Actually, we started off talking only about. So it's like sometimes when you talk to your general friends, like people who you know since a long time, and you are just sharing your point of view, maybe something which happened at your workplace, something which happened randomly somewhere. So you're just sharing things, and what happens is that when we get into a conversation with someone, we actually end up talking about what is bothering us the most. And this is like, I'm just saying the psychological point of view, I'm just saying the relationship point of view. And you always learn a lot from different interactions with different kinds of people. And this is the reason I have this page, because it's where I can openly talk about my things without sharing directly about my things. So this friend of mine, so we were just talking about office stuffs and what bothers us and how to be retained in a particular office. Because what happens is that it's not actually your talent which retains you in a particular place, but it's about how you manage the relationships in a workplace, which is very important. So if you're too direct, too open, that's where you make the most enemies in the workplace. And if you hurt someone's ego, then you're gone. So that's what we have realized and even like I've heard many experienced people talk about it. And that's why there are so many seminars, so many podcasts, so many books written on it, on how to maintain a relationship in workplace. So talking about workplace, we got into the topic of relationships, and then we started talking about how when we don't, what happens is like relationships are the closest place where we go to. So you'll see that the person who you date or who you marry or who your boyfriend's girlfriend's with, that person is the closest person to you. 1 minute. The closest person to us, our partners are the closest person to us, because we not only share our hearts with them, but we are some or the other way dependent on them in a couple kind of way. So, and I'm not saying dependent on your meeting your emotional needs or something. I mean, to a certain extent, everybody should self regulate themselves. To a certain extent, everybody should be meeting their own needs rather than depending on anyone. But when you are together as a couple, that thing becomes something very different. So each your patterns would impact your partner, and your partner's pattern would impact you. And somehow my friend, who is a guy, he was expressing, like, he went on to the extent of expressing like so basically I think many men have this problem of being vulnerable with someone. And that is the biggest concern, because what happens is when people open up in a relationship, the other person, the women are very expressive, men are not so very expressive, and you can make harmony in a way, but it also needs to be reciprocal in things. So basically what I found out talking to him, because I know this person for a long time, so this person was talking about someone he has lost, uh, so and he thinks that he will never find his way back to this girl. And I was trying to give him this hope that this is not the end. If you think that this is the end, then I was just trying to give him the hope that please don't think that this is the end of your story. But he said that I called her today and she just told me she has decided not to give me any chance. And I felt really sad for this friend of mine, because I know this person for a long time. I've literally grown up with this person as a friend. So it kind of concerns me to educate all of you is this: there are two types of attachment styles, and one attachment style is a anxious attachment and the other attachment style is an avoidant attachment. So basically, the anxious attachment person is a person who has either seen their parents not together, or they have seen some kind of abandonment in the family, so they have grown up adapting into that situation by trying to find love in some or the other way. uh, it might not always be about romantic love, but they kind of need that support from their friend circle or from some of the other things, which might not always be in a balanced way. So you might want to keep on telling things to others when they too have their own concerns. So that kind of person is an anxious attachment person. Now this person, the advantage of anxious attachment person is that this person would do anything for the other person, but he or she forgets that they too have needs, and they also need to be met halfway. The avoidant attachment person is a person who has all the emotions and feelings, but this person struggles with expressing them, being vulnerable, which cause a major havoc, because up to a certain extent everybody would be okay with it, but at some of the other point the other person needs to change, and the anxious attachment person also needs to change, so that there's a balance in relationship. So the purpose of saying this attachment style and the theories is not to overload your mind with problems, because this is a phase, this is something which happens, but there's always a way out of it. And when you come to, so my friend said that I lost my favorite person, and he was saying a lot of things. So basically he has been in love with this girl for almost like 4 years, and I don't know how he kept it hidden from me for such a long time. So I knew that he had some old I thought that he was still stuck on his ex or something, but I just came to know today that he had found someone who he felt that this is his life, this person might be his life partner, but he was dependent on her on such a way that he was not meeting this woman halfway, and that's where she could not take it anymore. So I told him that you need to work upon yourself, and he just kept on saying that I don't want to be with myself, I just want to be with her. So so this is where the problem is. So the extremes in here is, when they were in a relationship they did not realize about the problem that the other person might want to have that moral support, or that not moral support, that emotional support which his girlfriend was asking from him. And normally when people in love, they will never ask you to do something for them, but obviously efforts need to be met halfway. So that's where, like, she felt his girlfriend felt that he's not ready to change himself. So basically what happened is, he doesn't like celebrating birthdays, and this lady, I mean my friend's girlfriend, called him into her father's birthday, and that's where he went and told that birthdays are not so special for me, why you are overdoing your father's birthday. And that's what hurt that girl so much, that she was already, she felt like she's done. So I said that it's a phase. Just because she says that she's done, it doesn't mean that she's actually done. She might just be fed up with you. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the story. You just need to have that hope. And since you guys love each other so much, this is not a, like, he's telling me things which has already happened almost for like 2-3 years back, but uh somewhere he's very adamant to change himself. And now, since he has faced a big loss, I mean, he's telling me that it has been a long time, but since he faced a big loss, so he wants to change himself. And he's like, what should I do? I don't know how to change myself. I feel like I'm faking myself when I change myself. I said that when I realized that I have anxious attachment, it took me almost 2 years to come out of it. In fact, I still struggle. I mean, I still feel there are parts of me which needs more work, more inner work inside of me, to believe that uh, you know to believe, like, since I've already said in this channel that I had struggles in believing that I'm chosen, uh, people love me back. So these are actually beliefs which we carry from. So he had a perfect childhood, which is why he developed a lot of avoidant attachment style. And I think I came from a broken household, and that's why I developed anxious attachment style. So my friend, so that's, he was explaining how he grew up. He said that he never had to struggle for love. He never had to, like, he had people, he grew up with 5 women at his home, like 5 women as in 5 caretakers at his home, who were all women. And when women caretake of you, they obviously love you a lot, much before you can even ask for them to do anything. So that's where he got, like, so he never had to learn to be vulnerable with people. But since he said that I don't know, I can do anything for this person to come back in my life, I said that you just need to change yourself. That's all she would ask for. And okay, if she's saying these things that she doesn't want you as her boyfriend or something like that, just don't take it seriously. I mean, that's where, like, so I, in this channel previously, I had shared a success story about my other friend of mine who got married to his girlfriend after 2.5 years of separation. So I don't know, like, they were still in contact or not in between those period. I guess they were, but they are married now. They are happily married now, and they also had a two-state marriage. So you know, it's the inner story inside of you which actually. So that friend of mine who got married uh, to his to his he she was a college friend of him. So there was some, like, the girl was going through some family issues, and she could not take the relationship expectation or something like that. I don't actually know what exactly was the problem, but that was the main problem, that she was having some family issues. The family issues, like, there were some fights within the family, which is what created so much of chaos inside her mind, that she could not sustain the relationship at that point of time. And then she just gave an excuse, and she left the relationship. And my friend had that faith. He always used to tell me, she would be my wife, she would be my wife, she would be my wife. My friend also used to say that, like, he also used to discuss his plans of having a baby with his girlfriend. uh, so he used to think so much about his girlfriend. Like, I've seen that over the years, and even when they were not together, he would still post pictures with this girl, like, symbolically, not directly maybe, but symbolically, in different like social networking platforms. Actually, not social networking platform. He used to post it on other messaging platforms. So that's how he felt for his girlfriend, and she actually and of course true love wins in the end, and that's why they got married some 2 years back, and they're very happy now. Everybody is happy, like even his brother got married at that point of time with his girlfriend. So that is the hope I was trying to give to the friend I was in conversation with today. And so I was just telling him the inner work he should do, instead of saying, okay, I've messed it up completely, I've lost her forever. Why not work on yourself? I told him the same thing. See, there are two options: either you keep on regretting what you have done, or you work on yourself, you boldly believe, and in the right time, you life gives you a chance with her and it would work out. Because these guys had some mutual breakup kind of situation, my friend and his girlfriend. So that's what I told him, that the only thing you need to do is to just change yourself. That's all. I mean, that's how I described him. That old for example, someone's boyfriend's name is John maybe, and the girlfriend's name is Mary. So the older version of John and Mary created a dynamic which was an imbalance. When Mary changes into a new version, the dynamic also changes. So that's where John also has to become a new version so that their relationship is harmonious. Similarly, it could be vice versa. So that's what I was trying to tell him. If you struggle with vulnerability, maybe you should try. Now, a age-old, long way of dealing with things won't change overnight. You need to take up one day at a time. So maybe start opening up with your family. Maybe start opening up with your friends on those things you actually are not. You struggle to open up. So that's where you can change. So what you have, even I had, but in a different kind of way. You have the avoidant attachment style, I have an anxious attachment style. So even I had problems with this anxiety. So if I can do it, why can't you? So maybe just break one day at a time. So you struggle with expressing feelings, maybe just tell something which is very difficult to say to someone, but give it a shot. That's how you change. You cannot change overnight. So if I'm an alcoholic person maybe, and I want to leave alcohol, would I be able to leave alcohol one day? I won't be able to do that. But if I start telling myself, okay, fine, I'll try to limit it. If I drink a lot, then I'm just giving an example, then I would have to leave alcohol one day. We say like slow and steady wins the race. So maybe take smaller steps, take baby steps, and then when you take baby steps and you feel like, okay, I can take baby steps now, I can jump or run, then you run. So it's just the persistence which people struggle on. So for example, if I have a brother who has a habit of maybe just dirting the place he is playing, and he always has a habit of never keeping the place clean, would I be telling the brother that okay, get out of my house, never come back? No. But I would be teaching this person a chance, teaching this person chance by chance and step by step how to be accountable, how to be responsible. So that's what I told my friend, that once you have identified what your problem is, now you are winning the game. Because at this point of time, for such a long time, you never could realize what unconsciously you were projecting into your relationship. Now you realize this, it's a great thing you have done. Now, rather than focusing on what she said and what she didn't say and letting it rule your future with her, you change yourself, and then she will also adapt to that. So that's where we in fact even I had this logical kind of mindset. So initially when I was with my SP, and then like we were not talking to each other, I was falling into some sort of depression that, oh my god. And I was actually going through a lot of things. Like at that point of time, I lost a friend also, a very good friend of mine. And I was like, a lot of things, it's better I don't talk about it. So I was going through a lot of stuff at that point of time. But then, like, I had just this one willingness: I cannot lose this person. And that made me see videos in YouTube which was about I just told God that I don't know what, like, in fact, it was like, I don't know, like, this is a manifestation channel, but I'm also talking about God. So I am a firm believer of God, and I feel like whatever we say we are manifesting, it's the power of God which actually gives you those things. So people call it universe, I call it God. So I remember, like, there was a time when I was very vulnerable, and I just wanted my SP back in my life very, very desperately. And I just don't know. I felt like he and me are part of one soul, and being away from this person is like my soul is drifting apart. And I've never felt this way for any other person. Like, I've faced life's biggest heartbreak, but then that was not the same feeling as what I faced with my SP. So that's where I feel. So that's where I feel that that's the thing. So that's where I asked. I was very hopeless at that point of time, and I feel it was the power of God which told me that if you let me, then I will restore everything which you feel is not there at this point of time. And then I met, I don't know, like, I wasn't even searching, but in YouTube I met a lot of couples who were divorced or in the brink of blink of divorce, and they got together. And that was like, it was a miraculous reunion. Sorry, not reunion. Miraculous restoration of the relationship. I saw so many other stories like this. Then I came across law of assumption, law of attraction, and so many things. And then I saw that people have manifested their dream relationship, their dream marriages, their dream job, their dream figure, what not they have manifested. And I'm like, okay, so this is a different kind of science which goes into it. So that's where I started believing in it. And the only thing which I used to struggle at that point of time, because I felt like if I do this today, then tomorrow something would happen, or at least 1 month, 2 months after that something would happen. And I did things see change in a good way, little by little. But I feel like I had to learn a lot about persistence. I had to learn a lot about mental diet. I had to learn that I also need to work on my own inner beliefs to do this, because manifestation is not just about thinking that miraculously something would happen. It's also about doing your inner work. So rather than seeking validation, but like I was a person who used to seek a lot of emotional validation from my SP. And love is something, but emotional validation is something else. And even he used to tell me at some point of time that why do you think that you no, exactly, I do not know how to frame that sentence properly, but he used to always encourage me to be independent when I make certain decisions. And that was right. Even if you have heard about Hindu scriptures, even Shiva used to tell Ma Durga to be independent. So women have this thing that they keep coming back to their favorite person. They would keep just telling about their problems, and they would magically want some kind of solution. And sometimes we don't want the solutions, we just want them to listen. But there is some kind of expectation at a certain extent, or in certain things, that maybe if he's the solution to all my problems, but that's actually not. It's like you're giving a lot of load to that one person to do everything for you. So rather than doing that, you meet yourself in that particular thing where you feel like you need this person to meet certain kind of need. I'm not saying that you should not. We are social animals. We want relationships, we want marriages, we want friendship, we want that reassurance, we want everything, but it should not cross a limit wherein the other person feels burdened that okay, that's just too much to handle at this point of time because I too have my own problems. You should not be trauma dumping. That's what all I'm trying to say. So I hope this discussion helps because it gave me a different perspectives. It felt like it's not just with one relationship people face problems, and I've seen that problems differ at different stage. So when we were a child, we had problems with exams. When we went into the college, we had problems with okay, so I'm not able to adapt into the crowd, etc. Then now we are at a stage wherein we have these problems wherein we know that this other person is our soulmate, but there's some kind of inner work which needs to be done from both of the sides, but and that's where we would be able to be together. And actually God places us into such a situation or such a state so that we are able to work on our own self and we are able to get the best of the relationship with our specific person. So that's what I believed in, and that's what I've learned in my journey. And instead of I've never let myself actually cry for my specific person because I did a lot, but I never let myself believe that there's no hope to this because I knew that he's my soulmate and eventually it is going to be me and him in the end. So I think that's what, like, the person who I talked about in this video, and also I had posted a success story long back. So there I had told in those one of those videos that he always had this belief that this girlfriend of him who he had broken up with at that point of time, he always believed that she is his wife, and she is the mother of his children, and that's what happened in real life. So if that's not a success story, then what else is a success story? I literally saw someone being not together in the 3D for 2.5 years, and then they get back, they get married. So, and I really am happy for this person. And the reason I was so happy was I've seen this person actually struggle in love. Not actually in love. I had seen that person struggle in a very difficult time when he didn't have a job, when he didn't have his girlfriend who he loved so much. So I've seen so much for this, this person was going through a lot of things. So that made me realize that it's your inner belief eventually which matters. So that's why if you have ever heard about Steve Harvey, and I guess you guys had, so he used to sleep in his car, and eventually he became what he dreamt of. So he always wanted to become a TV star, and he became a TV star. So everything is belief, unless you tell your plans to a wrong person who doesn't believe, and he would make you come out of your own beliefs. So that's it. Don't let the 3D take away what you already know, or don't let the 3D make you believe something otherwise. Yeah, this would be more appropriate. Don't let the 3D make you believe something otherwise which you already know is not true. So live in the end. That's all. Thank you.